The story begins as a series of flashbacks from Amir's childhood in Kabul, Afghanistan during the 1970s. In 1982, Amir and Baba relocate to San Francisco due to the Russian invasion of Afghanistan.
The main themes of The Kite Runner are betrayal and redemption. They begin with Amir trying to prove his worthiness to his father. In turn, this ends up with Amir betraying Hassan, his best friend and half-brother. Amir is haunted by his betrayal and seeks redemption throughout the story. The main conflict is a man versus self conflict. Amir lets something terrible happen to Hassan and spends the rest of his life trying to make up for it. For a long time he fights his guilt and tries to repress it, but then he finally has the opportunity to actually do something about his guilt. Amir eventually resolves his conflict with himself by refraining his guilt into a call to action to nurture Hassan's son.
One of the major motifs of the story is the lamb. The lamb is a symbol of innocence. Amir always watches the yearly slaughter of the lamb in his backyard. Amir describes the look on Hassan's face while getting raped as identical to the lamb's. Another motif is the saying, "For you, 1,000 times over." This is a phrase that Hassan first used to Amir to show his loyalty and willingness to do anything to please him. Amir does not feel this way back and only wants his father's praise, but in the end, when Amir is flying kites with Sarab, Amir repeats this phrase and runs down the kite. Amir is now being less selfish and more selfless to care for others.
For both father and son, this is serious business. Kite running is Kabul's favourite pastime, and this man is the city's favourite kite maker.
It's my passion. It's my sport. What we Afghans can do with paper, no one else in the world can do.
53-year-old Noor Agabichu is considered the best in his craft. He makes the kites by hand and uses homemade glue. The secret ingredients were handed down by his father, who spent 60 years refining the art. Now Noor's son is making kites too.
I want to follow in my father's footsteps, to learn this trade. I want one day to replace my father, and I want to be as famous as he is.
As the cool autumn winds thrust south through the Hindu Kush ranges, Kabul's residents are preparing themselves for another unforgiving winter. But as they wait for the rain and snow to arrive, afternoons are spent on the hilltops, running kites. Success brings honour to friends and family, so it is fiercely competitive. The objective is to sever the opponent's string. Children do take part, but grown men are just as likely to be found staring up at the skies.
I lost because of your question. No, joking.
I'm very sorry.
No. You know, it's. I think that something that's very special about kite playing. It gives you a kind of excitement.
Kites are said to have arrived here almost 100 years ago. The tradition passed from China through India to Afghanistan. The Taliban banned kites, but now they dot the skyline once again. You come to a place like this and it's almost difficult to believe that this is a country torn apart by conflict. And it is perhaps the ability of the kite to help people just for a moment forget that reality, which makes kite running so popular.
I don't have any hope other than to have peace in this country. I will do anything for this country, and I hope that my kites rise up as a sign of peace in Afghanistan.
Peace may be a distant hope here, but in a country which sits on the fault lines of a fractured world, the floating kite remains a symbol of hope. Hamish MacDonald, Al Jazeera, Kabul.